This conference will now be recorded.
Today our concept is approval process. Okay. Today our concept is approval process. Before going into approval process, we will discuss some general information. Okay, we will discuss some general information. Coming into here, suppose one employee resigned from the service. An employee resigned from the service. Okay, employee resigned from the service, and he will send his resignation information to manager. He will send his resignation information to manager. Okay, manager will approve or reject. Manager will approve or reject. Okay, manager will approve or reject. Okay, so an employee resigned from the service and he will send his resignation information to his manager. Manager will approve or reject. Approve or reject. If he will approve, what it will happen? If he will reject, then what it will happen? If he will reject, then what it will happen? Okay, so here how employee will send his resignation information to his manager, that is the first point. Okay, here how employee, before that how employee will resign from the service. Before that how employee will resign from the service. Employee will resign from the service. The second point is how employee will send his resignation information to his manager. How employee will send his resignation information to manager. The third point is manager, how he will receive. How he will receive, where he will see, where he will see. So the first one is employee resign from the service. How he will resign from the service. How he will resign from the service. Once he resign from the service, how he will send his resignation information to his manager. The third point is how manager will see his resignation information, where he will receive, where he will receive. Once he received, he will reject or approved. How we will do these two actions, either approve or reject. How we will do, how we will do. All these concepts we are going to discuss in approval process. All these concepts we are going to discuss in the approval process. Approval process is a one person will send, one user will send for approval. Okay, the next other end some other user is there. How we will approve, how we will reject. So this concept we are implementing for employee resignation concept. Okay, approval process is a concept in the Salesforce. One user will request for approval another user is nothing but manager or some other person. Okay, that manager or some other user, how we will approve or reject. How we will approve or reject. Okay, that concept we are trying to implementing to the employee resignation concept. That approval concept we are trying to implementing to the employee resignation concept. So first what I will do, I will just go and create one employee object. We will just go and create one employee object. In employee object, I will just go and create some fields. Okay, like employee name and last name, and the next one is resigned. Resigned is a pick list field. Yes, no. Reason for resign. Okay, reason for resign. Reason for resign. Okay, reason for resign is a text area field, so or some other data type, it doesn't matter. If you want, you will just go and create. If you want, you will just go and create some other fields. Okay, so here we are trying to creating one custom object. My custom object name is nothing but employee. In this custom object, based on my requirement, we are trying to creating this field. One field is resign. This is a pick list field. The values are yes or no, and the another field is reason for resign. Okay, reason for resign. So approval process is the concept. So one user will send for approval to another user. Another user will approve or reject. Approve or reject. Okay, that concept we are trying to implementing to the employee resignation concept. Employee resignation concept. Okay, I'm trying to log in into the Salesforce. How to log in? This is a Tyler version. Login.salesforce.com. You have to enter your username and password. Okay. Now it is redirecting into the classic version. Now I am switched to the lightning experience. Switch to lightning experience. First we will create one custom object. How to create a custom object? Now I am on this page. How to create a custom object? Go to object manager. Click on this create. Click on this create. Click on custom object. My object name is nothing but employee approval or anything or employee. I'm trying to creating an employee. Okay. Plural label is nothing but tab name employees. Object name is nothing but employee. System automatically generate an API name that is nothing but employee underscore underscore C. Here record name I'm just adding it as a employee number, and this is an auto number. Okay, and the employee number format is like this. The starting number is nothing but 001. Okay, 001. And now I'm making this object as a tab. Making this object as a tab. Okay, now click on the save button. Click on the save button. Click on the save button. Then it will redirecting into this particular screen. The system it is asking what is your tab style. You are trying to creating one tab. What is that tab style? Okay, my tab name is nothing but employee. The object name is nothing but employee only. Then click on next. So you are trying to creating a tab. That tab is accessible by all profiles here. Profile concept already discussed, right? Again we will discuss. Going forward we will discuss. We are trying to creating one object, one tab. That tab is accessible by all profiles. In the previous session we created sales representative profile, right? Sales representative. I'm just making it is available or for all profiles. If it is available, it should be available for all profiles. If not, then go and change it here. If you don't want, then go and change it here. Okay, we are trying to creating an object. While creating an object, we are making that object as a tab. Now that tab visibility permission you are providing to all profiles. Yes, these are all profiles in my instance. I am providing permission to all profiles. Profile is nothing but collection of users. Okay, then click on next button. And this is a separate concept we will discuss. Custom app. Finally try to save this one. So we created one custom object, and my tab name is nothing but employees. Now I will just go and create some other fields based on my requirement. We will just go and create some other fields. Go to here, click on this new button, name, and I'm trying to selecting the data type as a text. Click on next. Then the next one is first name, and the next one is length is 25. Click on next, and click on next. We are trying to creating a field. This field is accessible by all profiles. Visible means yes, it should be accessible by all profiles. I mean, it is accessible plus editable. Okay, they will also edit. Suppose we will check this one and check this one, means that field is read only to all profiles. Whenever we are working in the project, we will not decide what kind of permission we have to provide for this particular profile. They will clearly mention in the requirement. We will not assume and we will not provide anything. If they will not provide any information related to field level security, then we will make it as a visible to all profiles. Then click on the next button, and we are trying to adding this field to the page layout. Every object has a page layout, right? Page layout is nothing but UI. Okay, then click on save and new. Then automatically it will redirecting into the data type screen. Okay, now this time I am trying to creating last name. 1 second, it is, yeah, it will redirecting into this particular screen. This time I am trying to creating last name text. Click on next. Last name, then 25. Click on next. Save and new. Now this time I am trying to creating one pick list field, that is nothing but resigned. It is not redirecting. Okay. Click on fields and relationships. Click on this new button. I'm trying to selecting one pick list field. Click on next. Resigned. See here. Resigned. I'm taking the second radio button. Okay. Because of this pick list fields are available only for this field. Click on pick list values are available only for this pick list field. Click on next. Save and new. And again I'm trying to creating one more field that is nothing but reason for resign. Okay, reason for resign. Go to here, click on this new button, and my field name is nothing but text area. Click on next. Reason for resign. Click on next. Click on next. Click on next. Finally try to save this one. Finally try to save this one. Now we will just go and create one record in employee object. How to create a record? How to create a record is nothing but go to the app launcher. Go to the app launcher. Here we have employee tabs here. Employee is there, right? Click on this employees. Click on this employees. Then it will redirecting into this particular screen. So here we have new option is there. New button is there. Click on this new button. Click on this new button. What is the first name? Okay, James. Last name, James. And resign from the service? No. And click on the save button. Click on the save button. Okay, resign from the service? No. Okay, this like this we will just go and create some employee records. Okay, go to here, click on this new button. Peter, one more employee, last name is nothing but Peters, resign from the service? No. Reason for resign? Click on the save button. Okay, click on the save button. Now I will just go and create one more record. Go to here, click on this new button, and Thomas, and the next one is Thomas. Okay, and resign from the service? No. Reason for resign? Click on the save button. Nothing. Now before going into our approval process concept, I want to make this resigned field as a required field. We want to make this resigned field as a required field at the page layout level. I don't want to make this field while creating. I don't want to make this field while creating. We want to make this field required at the page layout level. At the page layout level, I want to make this field required at the page layout level. How many ways we will make a field as a required? By creating, while creating, the second option is at the page layout level. Now in my case, my client is asking you have to make this field at the page layout level. Now I am on this page. We want to make this field as a required at the page layout level. How we will do? Go to here, click on this setup, edit object is there, right? Edit object. Otherwise, go to here, click on this one, edit page is there, right? Click on this edit page. Okay, details is nothing but this is a page layout only, right? Under details tab, this is nothing but page layout only, right? Page layout. Click on this edit page. Click on this edit page. We should remember the navigations, we should remember. Okay, now it will redirecting into employee record page. Now go to here, under details tab we have page layout. Click on this one. Click on this one. Which page layout here we are using? Here you have to observe in the right hand side, the system it will identify. For this record, just now you created one record. For this record, under details tab, we have page layout is there. Which page layout we are using? Which page layout we are using? How we will find is nothing but employee layout is there, right? Employee layout. So this page layout here we are using. Click on this employee layout. Then it will redirecting into this particular screens here. So for this record page, under details tab, we are using which page layout? How we will find is nothing but click on this button. In the right hand side here you have to observe employee layout is there, right? Click on this employee layout. I mean here you have to observe employee layout previewed. So under this details tab, we are using employee layout. Click on this employee layout, then it will redirecting into this particular screen. Now go to here, I'm just making resigned as a request. Click on this one, required. Click on this OK. Finally try to save this one. Now go to my record page, back here. Okay, come. So now take any new record or existing record. This is a detail page, right? Go to here, click on this edit button. See here, resigned is with the red mark, right? With the star, right? Means it is a mandatory field. It is a mandatory field. We made this field as a required field at the page layout level. At the page layout level. So now coming into our approval process concept. Now coming into our approval process concept. For example, James is one employee. James want to resign from the service. James wants to resign from the service. Here, what is the condition? You will go to here, resigned equals to yes. See here, resigned equals to yes, and click on the save button. Click on the save button. Then, then I mean he resigned from the service. Once he resigned from the service and click on the save button, then he wants to send his resignation information to his manager. He wants to send his resignation information to his manager. How we will send his resignation information to his manager? Okay, once he will send, then where his manager will receive. So once he will receive, then what he will do? He will approve or reject. If reject, then what it will happen? If approve, then what it will happen? All these concepts, all these things we are going to achieve in the Salesforce by using approval process. By using approval process, then where we will create an approval process is nothing but go to setup, go to setup, go to quick find, not at the object manager. In the previous session you also remember, right? Workflows, where we created workflows, not under object manager. We are directly going into the quick find. We are directly going into the quick find. Workflows and approval process, we have to directly go to the quick find here. Approval process. Here approval process. So then approval process, under process automation we will get approval process. Click on the approval process. Okay, click on the approval process. Then it will redirecting into this particular screen. It will redirecting into this particular screen. The first one is manage approval process for. So select this one. It will show all the objects, whether it is a standard object or custom object. It will show all the objects. So on which object we are working? On which object we are working? Employee object, right? Go and select our employee object. Go and select our employee object. So we are trying to creating an approval process. What is the navigation is nothing but go to setup. In the quick find, you have to type it as a approval. Okay, then under process automation we will get approval process. Click on this one. Then it will redirecting into this particular screen. The first one is under manage approval process for, we have to select our object. Our object is nothing but employee object. Our condition is an employee object, right? Why we have to select an employee object only? Because of our condition is an employee object. Our requirement is what? If resigned equals to yes, click on the save button. Then we want to send his resignation information to manager, right? So we want to send, when we want to send, if resigned equals to yes and click on the save button, then we want to send his resignation information to manager, right? So our actual condition is in which object? Suppose in our requirement 4 or 5 objects are there, then which object we have to select, and which object we will write our approval process. So we will write our approval process. Actually, where is the condition and which object the condition? My condition is in employee object. We are expecting resigned equals to yes. Click on the save button. Then we have to send our his resignation information to manager, right? So finally we have to select employee object because of our condition is an employee object. Our condition is an employee object. Step one is, while implementing approval process, step one is select the object. Select the object. Okay, so in this object the rule, the condition will exist. Okay, condition will exist in this object. Okay, and that particular object only here we have to select, then click on this go button. Then it will redirecting into this particular screen. It will redirecting into this particular screen. Here you have to observe, create new approval process is there. Create new approval process. Okay, and by using Jumpstart Wizard or stand-up setup wizard, we are trying to creating new approval process. 1 second. Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, fine. So here you have to observe in the drop down list we have three options are there. Create new approval process, use Jumpstart Wizard, stand-up setup wizard. So here we are trying to creating new approval process on employee object. How many ways we will create is nothing but by using Jumpstart Wizard or standard setup wizard is there. Two ways are there. We are trying to creating an approval process. Yes, how many ways are there to create approval process? Two ways are there. Jumpstart Wizard and standard setup wizard is there. So what is the difference between Jumpstart Wizard and stand-up setup wizard means we'll discuss. First, we are trying to selecting Jumpstart Wizard. Okay. The second one is two ways, two ways to create approval process. One is one is jumpstart wizard. Okay, and another one is standard setup wizard. There is different. Okay, in some cases we will go with the jumpstart wizard, in some cases we will go with the standard setup wizard, but now we are trying to creating our approval process by using jumpstart wizard. Select this one and click on this go button. What about below two related lists are there, right? Active approval process or inactive approval process. In employee object, is there any existing approval process is there? That it will show those are active or inactive. In employee object, is there any existing approval process? We are trying to creating a new approval process. Yes, go to here, select Jumpstart Wizard and click on go. What about these two related list? Is there any existing approval process is there? Yes, it will show here if it is active. If it is inactive, then it will show here. Now we are trying to creating a new approval process by using Jumpstart Wizard in employee object. Select this one, click on this go button. Then it will redirecting into this particular screen. It will redirecting into this particular screen. Here you have to observe name. So we are trying to creating one approval process. You have to provide some name. You remember while creating a workflow rule also we provided some name, right? Oh, some name, right? The name is unique, right? There is no logic while providing a name. There is no logic. You will just go and provide any information here. Employee resigned approval. Any name here, it doesn't matter. There is no logic. There is no logic. So unique name is automatically based on that name, the system it will create. Okay. Now approval assignment email template. If you want to add any email templates, we know right how to create email templates. In workflow rule for email alert action, we created email templates, right? Like that, you will also create email template. That email template also, if you want, you will just go and call it here based on our client requirement. Means we have a facility to call email template while creating an approval process. Now coming into here, add the submit for approval button and approval history related list to all employee page layout. Once again here, add the submit for approval button. Mean the system is saying we will create one button. That button name is nothing but submit for approval. That button name is nothing but submit for approval, and that button we will add under approval history related list. Just remember, I will show in the front end. I am trying to checking this particular checkbox. Before checking this particular checkbox, now go to employee record. Here you have to refresh this one. Now go to related list. See here, there is no related list here, right? Related list is nothing but childs for this particular employee. And here you have to observe one more thing. How many buttons are there here? Edit button is there, delete button is there, clone some other buttons are there. Okay, just observe here. There is no related list. There is no button like submit for approval. Once we created an approval process, while creating an approval process, suppose we will select this particular checkbox, then the system automatically add one submit for approval button and one related list also it will add. That related list name is nothing but approval history. Approval history. Two action system automatically perform to all employee page layout. We have to check this particular checkbox. Okay. Now coming into here, use approve field of employee one. Forget about this one. Okay. Now coming into here, specific entry criteria. Specific entry criteria is nothing but two options are there, right? Criteria are met is there, formula values to true is there, right? Criteria are met, formula evaluation to true. Here also I'm going with the criteria are met. What about formula evaluation to means we'll discuss that. Now coming into criteria are met. Coming into criteria are met. So what is your condition here? What is your condition? Employee resigned. Employee resigned is a field, right? So select that particular field. Equals. See, this is a pick list field. That's why this lookup icon is available here. Click on this one, then select yes, then select yes. See, here this is a condition. Suppose one employee is resigning from the service. How we will resign service from the service? He will go to that employee record and the drop down list is there. In drop down list he will select yes and click on the save button. So this is actual our condition here. Now scroll down here, select approver, select approver here. So here add filter logic is there, right? Before that, before select approver we have add filter logic is there, right? Click on add filter logic. Suppose here we have two conditions are there, created by, equals, or is this one, two conditions are there. See here, two conditions. See, automatically it will show and, automatically it will show and. Suppose we want to add it as a r, one r. So as our, based on our requirement, based on our requirement, that facility is also there. It should not be like always and. See here, by default it is showing and. Suppose my condition is I want to make it as a r, means either this condition or this condition, either this condition or this condition, where we will make it as a r. Add filter logic is there, right? Click on add filter logic. 1 and 2 is there, right? 1 and 2. You have to make it as a R. You will go to here, you have to make it as a R. Based on our requirement. I'm just clearing this one. I'm also removing this one. Go to here, none, remove this one. Okay, remove this one. Here we have only one condition. Now coming into here, select approver. Select approver. Suppose employee resigned from the service, then who is the approver? That here we have to select. That here we have to select. Four radio buttons are there, right? One, two, three, four. Four radio buttons are there right here. So first we are going with the this option. Let the submitter choose the approver manually. But this is not the real time case. In the real time we will not select this option, but we should know. But we should know. So here four options are there. Four options is nothing but four radio buttons are there. Four radio buttons are there. We should select one. We should select one. Here we are going with the first radio button. This is nothing but who is the approver? Employee is resigning from the service. Then who is the approver? That here we are trying to selecting. That here we are trying to selecting here. Now let the submitter choose select approver, right? This is the first option. Let the submitter, just observe here. Let the submitter choose the approver manually. Okay. We selected this option, then click on the save button. Click on the save button. Okay. Then it will redirecting into this particular screen. Then go to here, click on view approval process detail page. Click on this one. Then it will redirecting into this particular screen. Here you have to observe. You have to clearly observe here. Process definition detail. Okay, and this is my approval process name, and what is the condition to enter into this approval process? Resigned equals to yes, resigned equals to yes. Who will submit? Employee one. No, forget about this one, we'll discuss. Just observe this one. Initial submission action, one related list is there. Everything is useful here, I will explain. Initial submit action is there, actions are there. Okay, here add existing action, add new actions are there. Suppose we want to send an email alert, field update, outbound message, three actions are there. We will just go and select. Now coming into your approval steps are there. Approval steps are there. Here you have to observe approval actions, rejection actions, what exactly all these things means, we'll discuss that. Now final approval actions are there. Final approval actions. Here final rejection actions are there. Final rejection actions are there. Okay. Now I will just go and activate this one. We will discuss each and everything we will discuss. Yes, observe this one. We created one approval process, then it will redirecting into this particular detail page. In this detail page, we have these options are there. Initial submission actions are there, approval steps are there, final approval actions are there, final rejection, recall actions are there. Just observe this one. We will discuss each and everything. Now I am trying to activating this one. Click on this activate. Click on this activate. So we created one approval process in employee object. What is the condition? Suppose any user is trying to creating record, that record it will enter? No. Only when resigned equals to yes, then that record will enter into our approval process. Once it will enter into our approval process, then who is the approver? So here in this scenario, we are giving an option to the submitter only. Okay, we will see in the front end. Then you have any questions, then we'll discuss. Now go to here. Go to here. This is our employee tab, right? Employee tab. Go to our employee tab. Go to our employee tab. Take any one employee record. Take any one employee record. Now go to here. Here you have to observe submit for approval button is available, right? Submit for approval button. So previously there is no submit for approval button, but now submit for approval button is there. Suppose you are working in one project. Suppose you will find submit for approval button, then what does that mean? In this object, approval process are there. In this object, approval process are there. Now, what is the second one? Second one is nothing but go to your related. Under related, here you have to observe. Approval history is there, right? Previously, there is no approval history, right? So, while creating an approval process, we have one checkbox. Suppose we will check that particular checkbox, then what does that mean? The system automatically add submit for approval button. The second one is automatically add one related list. That related list name is nothing but approval history to all page layouts. How many page layouts are there in employee object? It will automatically add to all page layouts. Okay. Now coming into here. Suppose resigned equals to no, right? Suppose employee will go to here. Resigned equals to, will just go and select resigned equals to yes and click on the save button. Click on the save button. Here you have to observe. Once click on the save button, then it is not immediately sending. It is not automatically sending to approver. It is not sending. Here you have to observe. Employee resigned to yes. Employee changed the status resigned to yes and click on the save button. So this record is automatically sending to approval process? No. Whenever we will go to here, click on submit for approval button, then only it will send my record to approval process. Then only here it will send my record to approval process. Here two options here we have to observe. Two cases here we have to observe. My requirement is suppose employee will go to here. He will change resigned equals to yes and click on the save button. Then immediately I want to send my resignation information to his manager or some other person. That is one way. So immediately it should send. Otherwise, sometimes what it will happen is so not immediately. Suppose employee come to here and click on submit for approval, then only we have to send his resignation information to his manager. So two options are there. We are discussing with the submit for approval option only. When we will discuss the first option means we'll discuss that. Two options here we have to observe. Generally, resigned equals to yes and click on the save button, then immediately it will send his resignation information to manager, right? That is one case, right? The second case is here whenever user click on submit for approval, either we will implement this one or implement this one in our requirement in our project. Here we are discussing with the submit for approval button. What about the first case means we'll discuss, that is dynamic process. This is called static process. When employee resigned equals to yes, click on the save button, then automatically it will send his resignation information to manager. That is called dynamic process. So and here this is called static process. Static process is employee coming into here and click on the submit for approval, then only it will send his resignation information to manager. That is nothing but static process. Click on submit for approval. Click on submit for approval. Okay. And submitting. Click on submit. Okay. Here you have to observe, choose next approver. Here the system, it is showing one option for us. What is this option? Choose next approver. You remember here? You remember, while creating an approval process, we select an approver. Which option we selected? Let the submitter choose the approver manually. Whoever is submitting, that for that person, whoever is submitting, whoever is resigning from the service, whoever is clicking submit for approval button, for that particular person, we are giving an option. Whoever you want, you will just go and select your approver. But this is not the real time case, but we should learn what are the options are there in the Salesforce while creating an approval process. What are the options are there, but we should learn. But this is not the option in the real time. Here, while creating an approval process, what we did, okay, we are giving an option to the submitter. Submitter is nothing but who is clicking on the submit for approval button is there, right? For that person, we are giving an option, boss. Whoever you want, you will just go and select. That's why here it is showing this option. Choose next approver. We are giving an option to Akira Mohit. We are giving an option to Akira Mohit. Otherwise, I am giving an option to Ramesh Babu. Okay, Ramesh Babu. Assume that James is submitting his resignation information and he is requesting Ramesh Babu. He is the next approver for him. Click on the submit button. Click on the submit button. So James resigned from the service. How he resigned from the service? He will go to here in the resigned drop down list. He will click on the, he change it to yes. Okay. Then what is the next step? He wants to submit his resignation information to his manager or some other person. How he is submitting? He will go to here, click on submit for approval button. Now it is in disable mode. Okay, we'll discuss why it is in disable mode. So he will click on the submit for approval. Once click on the submit for approval, then it is showing an option. Whoever you want, you will just go and select. But that is not the real time case, right? That is not the real time case, but we should learn. So now he resigned from the service. James resigned from the service. He sent his resignation information to Ramesh. So now go to related list. Go to related list. See here you have to observe. Under approval list, here you have to observe. Under approval list, here you have to observe, he submitted. Okay, approval request is submitted. See here, he submitted. Assume that James submitted to Ramesh. Ramesh, from the Ramesh side it is pending. From the Ramesh side it is pending. Actual approval is nothing but Ramesh, and assigned to is nothing but Ramesh, and status is pending. Status is pending here. So we will see each and every information under approval history. Under approval history is a standard related list. So under approval history, we will see each and every information. Approval request is submitted on this particular date and it is assigned to Ramesh. Assume that here submitted is nothing but by James, because of ours is a Tyler version, right? So there is no facility to create more than two users. Assume that here James submitted and it is assigned to Ramesh, and it is assigned to Ramesh. So up to now here we are clear, right? Employee resign from the service. How we will resign from the service? We are clear, right? You will go to here. You will go to here. Resigned equals to yes. Resign from the service, right? Then the second one is how we will send his resignation information to his manager. This one also we are clear, right? How we will send? You will go to here. Click on the submit for approval button. Now it is not available. Why it is not available? Already submitted his request, right? His request is under process. That's why the system automatically it is disabling this option, this button. So because of he submitted his request and it is under process, that's why there is it is invisible. The button is invisible. So now the second case is also fine, right? He submitted his resignation information by using submit for approval button, right? So while submitting, he assigned to his manager, right? He assigned to his manager, right? Now where this manager will find some requests are pending for my approval, where this manager will find is nothing but go to home tab only. In the previous session, we already discussed home tab. Discussed in the sense means task also there, right? See here, today's task. Today's task is there, right? Recent record. 1 second. Home page. Go to home page. Refresh this one. Under home tab. Under home tab, it is available. Okay. Okay, forget about this one. Under home tab, but home tab also we have to design. Under home tab, under home tab, this manager is there, right? This manager, he will receive under home tab. Like this here, some section is there, like a pending for approve, pending request, pending approval request. Some option is there. Under this one, you will find. I will show in classic version. Go to here. So what I am trying to say is he resigned. James resigned from the service and he sent to his manager. Okay, manager, where he will find? Some records are pending for my approval. Where he will find? Where the manager he will find is nothing but under home tab only. Here I did not make some setup here. Generally under home tab we will make this setup. Under home tab we will make this setup. Now go. I'm switching into the classic version. Go to here. Switch to Salesforce Classic. Switch to Salesforce Classic. Go to home tab. Go to home tab here. Go to home tab. Here you have to observe items to approve is there, right? My task is there, right? Like that items to approve is there, right? Reassign, approve, reject, employee 001 resigned, employee, one second, go to here. So under items to approve. So where we will find this? Under home tab. In lightning version also, under home tab only, there is some section like items to approve. But for that we have some setup required. We have some setup required. Okay. Items to approve. Under items to approve, which record is pending for his approval? This record is pending. Then what he will do? Now the manager responsibility. Now he find that record. Which record is waiting for his approval? He find that record. Now the next one is his responsibility. What he will do? He will click on this particular record. Click on this particular record. See, it will redirecting into this particular screen. One second. Now he will go to here. Click on this particular button. Click on this particular one. Okay. Either reassign or approve reject. Click on this one. We are clicking on the approve or reject. Click on this one. Then it will redirecting into this particular screen. It will redirecting into this particular screen. So manager either approved here, approved. If suppose you want to add the comment, no issues. Suppose you don't want to add the comment, also no issues. No issues. So suppose you want to approve, then you will go here and click on the approve. Click on this approve. Click on the approve. Now again switch into the lightning version. Go to here, lightning version. Go to here, related is there, right? See, he resigned from the service and the status is nothing but approved only, right? Status is nothing but approved only, right here. Okay, now go to here, submit for approval button is there. Okay, I'm the administrator, that's why here it is available. Forget about that one. So finally see here, the record has been approved, right? The record has been approved, right? So finally this is the process. Finally this is the process. Employee resigned from the service. Okay, how we will resign from the service? So once resign from the service, then how we will send his resignation information to his manager? So manager, where he will find that particular record? Suppose he will find, then what he will do? He will approve or reject. If approved means yes, process completed. If rejected means, then what it will happen means we'll discuss. Before that, you have any questions? Have any questions or any confusion here? Any questions or any confusion? Okay. Now I will just go and create one more approval process. One more approval process here we will just go and create. Okay. Now go to setup. Go to setup. In the same employee object, we will create one more approval process. Why we are creating means we have four options, right? We selected only the first option. We will see remaining three options also. Now go to here in the quick find. Approval process are there, right? Click on the approval process. Click on the approval process. See, select employee object. Under employee object we created one approval process, right? That approval process is nothing but employee resigned approval, right? Here you have to observe process order is one, but one text box is there. This is nothing but now automatically it is coming as a one. Why it is coming it as a one? Suppose I will create one more approval process, under that it will come as a two. Why it will come as a two? Means you remember in workflows, suppose two workflows rules are there. Which workflow rule it will fire first? That order of execution we will not control, right? What I'm trying to say is two workflow rules are there in same object. A, B workflow rule. Which workflow rule it will fire? We are not guaranteed, right? But here we have control. which one we want to fire, which one we have to tell to the system. You have to execute first this one. If not, then you have to go to this one. That facility is there in approval process. That's why process order is there. Process order is nothing but we have some control on the approval process. We will tell to the system, suppose 5 approval process are there, we will tell to the system first you have to go and execute this one. If it is not satisfied, then go to the second one. Then if it is not, then go to the third one. Like that we will control the order in the approval process. That's why this option is there. Now I am trying to deactivating this one. I'm trying to deactivating this one. So for time being, because of we are adding the same condition, right? So same condition with the two approval process. Instead of that, I am trying to deactivate this one. Click on the deactivate button. Now I'm trying to creating one more approval process. So how to create a approval process? First go and select an employee object. Now go to here. Jumpstart Wizard is there. Click on this go button. We selected Jumpstart Wizard, and the next one is what is your approval process name? 02 I'm just adding. Now what is your, here you have to observe by using this checkbox only, add submit for approval button. So this system automatically add this button. Plus this is approval history related list is there, right? Approval history. Whenever we are checking this checkbox, then only the system automatically add to all employee page layout. Now what is your condition criteria or met is there. Now coming into here, resigned equals resigned equals to yes. So here there is no change. My condition is resigned equals to yes only. Now who is the approver? Here we selected the first radio button, right? Let the submitter choose the approver manually, right? We are giving an option to submitter who is click on the submit for approval button. That is called that person, that user is called submitter. We are giving an option to the submitter. Boss, whoever you want, you will just go and select. But that is not the real time case. Now we are going with the fourth option. Automatically assigned to approver. Automatically assigned to approver. This is the real time case. So while creating an approval process only, we will define any employee resign from the service, then we have to the resignation information will automatically send to this particular user. While creating an approval process only, we will define the approver. That is nothing but automatically assigned to approvers. Go to here. This is the fourth option, automatically assigned to approver. While creating an approval process only, we will define he is the approver. If any employee resign from the service, then there is no option. It will automatically send to this particular approver only. Now go to here. User is there, queue is there, related user is there. All are users only other than the queue. Queue is a separate concept we will discuss. Queue is a separate concept we will discuss. Now here we are selecting as a user. Then for which user we are trying to selecting? I am selecting to Akira Mohit. Akira Mohit. So any employee resign from the service, then the system automatically send that user information, resignation information to Akira Mohit. To Akira Mohit. Then click on the save button. Click on the save button. Then it will redirecting into this particular screen. View approval process detail page. Click on this one. Click on this one. Now activate this one. Forget about all these things, we'll discuss. Okay, we'll discuss. Click on this activate button. Click on this activate button. So we have one approval process that is in active state. That is in active state. So condition is resigned equals to yes. Then who is the approver? Who is the approver is nothing but Akira Mohit is the approver. Now we will just go on to test the record. Go to employees. Go to employee and click on select any one of the record, any record. Go to here. This is the record. The first two step is employee wants to resign from the service. How we will resign from the service? Go to here. Resigned equals to yes. Click on the save button. Yes, employee resigned from the service. Now he wants to send his resignation information to some user. How we will send? Two ways are there. One, change to yes, click on the save button, then automatically it will send. That is dynamic process that we'll discuss. But here we are following static process. How we are following? You will go to employee, will go to here, click on the submit for approval button. Click on the submit for approval button. Click on the submit for approval buttons here. Then he is sending his resignation information. Okay, resigned. Click on the submit. See here, there is no option, right? It is automatically sending to the approver, right? Why means while defining an approval process, we are sending, we are defining any employee resign from the service, then automatically send to this approver. Now where we will find? Go to related list. See under approval history is there, right? Under approval history. So who submitted? Assume that Thomas submitted this request. Who is the approver? It is assigned to Akira Mohit. It is assigned to Akira Mohit. So now what Akira Mohit he will do? Where he will find this record? When record is pending for his approval, where he will find? He will go to the home tab. He will log in into the system. He will go to the home tab. Under items to approve, he will find all the records which are pending for his approval. Then what he will do? He will go to here. Okay, go to here and he will see approve or reject or reassign. Approve, reject or reassign. He will go to here and click on this approve button. Approved. Okay, approved. Click on this approve. Okay, click on the approved. So this record is approved. Okay, this record is approved. Now go to here. This is employee Thomas resigned from the service. How he resigned means resigned equals to yes. Then how he sent his resignation information is by using submit for approval button. By using submit for approval button, then what happened? It went to the Akira Mohit. Akira Mohit approved. So overall status is nothing but approved only. Now here you have to observe there is no submit for approval button because of record process has completed. Record process has completed. Okay. Any questions on this one? Any questions on this one? Coming into classic version, you will easily understand the go to your classic version. I'm going into the employee tab. See, go to employees tab. Click on this three. Okay. Now go to here. Employee to go to here. So employee what he will do? He will go to here. Click on this one. Resigned equals to yes. Try to save this one. Then what is the next step? Next step he will go to here. He will click on the submit for approval button from here or here. Okay. Anyway, from anywhere. Okay. Then click on submit for approval. Once click on the submit for approval, then here you have to observe under approval history, automatically it will show. It is assigned to Akira Mohit. Who submitted? We assume that here Peter submitted and it is assigned to Akira Mohit. So overall status is nothing but pending status only. Pending status only. And one more observation here you see here. The record is locked, right? The record is locked. Suppose you will go to here and is trying to editing. Here edit button is there, right? You will think that here edit button is there, so you will go to here and you click on the edit button. We are the administrator, that's why edit option is available. Ramesh, who is Ramesh? Ramesh is a system administrator profile user. For Ramesh system administrator profile, okay, this edit option is there. Otherwise, for other user, there is no edit option. Once any employee resign from the service, then the first step is system it will log the record. System it will log the record because of he resigned from the service. It is under process. It is under process. So this record is going to log. Why it is logged? Suppose he will come to here and again he will change. So under so the system then it is not under his control. Under his control. That's why the system is going to log the record when employee resign from the service and click on submit for approval button, then immediately system will log the record. Why it will log the record? He submitted for approval. So whether the approver will approve or reject, up to that you have to wait. Up to that you have to wait. Okay, so and before that he is having one more option, recall approval request. Suppose he wants to withdraw, yes, recall approval request. Recall, the employee is withdraw his resignation. See here, employee he submitted to Akira Mohit, and but again he recalled means he withdraw that is resignation information. Now you understand, you observe here, click on the submit for approval. Once click on the submit for approval button, then record is getting locked. So he resigned from the service. Is nothing but he sent this record to approval process. So it is under Akira Mohit control. So Akira Mohit will approve or reject. Akira Mohit will approve or reject. Okay, then only you have rights on this particular record. Up to that you have to wait. So here the observation is when user click on the submit for approval button, the first step is the system will log the record. The system will log the record. Log the record means the submitter will not perform any actions on the record. He wants to, he wants to perform means he should recall the approval request. He should recall his request. Now what Akira Moiti will do? He will log in into the system. He will go to the home tab and he will find this record. Now go click on this one. He will reject. So for example, click on the rejected, reason rejected. Click on the reject. Click on the reject. See, initially is submitted and again recalled, again submitted. So again, so Akira Moiti rejected. So Akira Moiti is rejected. Here don't get confused because of we have only to create two users in the Salesforce. That's why we are not creating users. That's why we are not creating users. Assume that Peter submitted. Again he recalled. Okay. Again he submitted. So who rejected? Akira Moit is rejected this particular request. Overall status is nothing but rejected only. Rejected. Suppose you want again, you will just go and submit here. Go to here, submit for approval. Then it will go to the Akira Moit. Akira Moit go to here, approve. This time you will approve. Now overall status is nothing but approved only. Any questions on this one? Any question?
Ramesh garu, the lightning version, they don't have this option to recall.
Yes, that is option. One second. Go to here. Switch to lightning experience. We will verify. I did. Okay. Go to your employee. Click on this new button. Test. No. Try to save this one. Now you will just go to here. Suppose here it is no, and you will go to here submit for approval. Then what it will happen? Click on the submit. See here, no applicable approval process was found. Suppose any employee record should enter into process, then that is yes. Okay. Now coming into here, we will click on this one. Go to here, submit for approval. Click on submit for approval. Then we have to verify. Here there is no option. Related, approve, reject. Recall is there. See here. Here we have recall option. Yeah, it's clear or any other question?
Yeah, that's it. And one more, can you go to this? Uh,
Yeah.
can you go to this notepad? Notepad.
Okay.
So in this, is you are selecting this approver, right?
Yes.
Automatically assigned to approver. Okay, can you go to that? Because there you
Automatically.
are, yeah,
Yeah.
because you are selecting only like manager list. We need to prepare by our own. Like it is how it is going to be. Like selection of the,
Automatically it is available. Manager is nothing but one user only, right?
yeah.
One user only, right? So automatically it will show our users. Okay. Automatically here it will show. I'm sending my whenever I will get a requirement. You have to create the approval process. They will mention is the approver. Assume that approver is you are the approver. Shiva is the approver. Shiva is nothing but he is my Salesforce user only, right? Is nothing whether the role, forget about the role, forget about the role. Here the approver is Shiva is nothing but one user, Salesforce user. The system automatically show that particular user. Now go to here, Jumpstart Wizard, click on this go button. For example, we will just go and select this fourth option, right? No need to any setup, because of he is the manager. We have to do some setup, then only this user here it will come. It is not like that. Here you have to observe, user is there, queue is there, partner is there, all users are there. Queue is a separate concept we will discuss. Suppose you will select a user means it will show all the active users in the system. Suppose I want to send my resignation information to Shiva is nothing but is under Salesforce user only, right? I will just go and select the user Shiva only. So this resignation information will send to this particular user.
So no need to pick from, like no need to create that pick list, right?
No need to, it is provided by the system. Suppose you will select user means the system automatically show all the users. How many users are there in your Salesforce instance? Who are the active? Those users are automatically available. Automatically available. There is no pre-required steps here. Here in my system, only two users, right? Akira Mohit and Ramesh Babu. That's why two users are available here. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ramesh.
Thanks. Any other questions or any confusion? Okay. So we have some other two options are there. We'll discuss in the next session. Before that again, I will give the information. Okay. So here our concept is approval process. Approval process is our concept. So what is the approval process concept is, one user is there, he needs some approval. Okay. From the manager or some other person, it doesn't matter. He need an approval from one user. Okay. He need an approval from user. Suppose he will provide an approval, then only he will continue his process. Suppose he will reject, then stop the process. That is the request. Okay, that is the process. That is the approval process concept. That is the approval process concept. One user is there, he need an approval from another user. Another user is nothing but manager or some other person, is that it doesn't matter. Suppose that a user will approve, then he will continue his process. That suppose that user will reject, then he will stop the process. That is the approval process concept. Here in we are working with one example. Our example is employee resignation process. Employee resigned from the service. Okay, how we will resign from the service? Resigned equals to yes and click on the save button. That is our condition, means employee resigned from the service. Now he wants to send his resignation information to his manager or some other person. How we will send? We will go to here, click on the submit for approval button. Click on the submit for approval button. Then that meaning is trying to sending his resignation information to manager. Okay. So his manager. So manager will receive. Okay. Where he will receive? He will go to the home tab and he will find what are the records pending for his approval. He will find. Suppose he will find, then what is the next step? He will approve or reject. If approved means process completed. Reject means again it will revert back to that particular employee. Again he wants, he can resubmit that particular record. Again he wants, he can resubmit this particular record. All these things we are achieving by using approval process in the Salesforce. We have to go to setup. In the quick find, we have to type it as approval process. Then you have to select the object, on which object your condition. You have to select that particular object. Then two types of approval process is there. Then Jumpstart Wizard, standard setup wizard is there. Here we are working with the Jumpstart Wizard only. What is the standard setup wizard means, we'll discuss. Okay, so here we are working with the Jumpstart Wizard. Then what is your condition? In employee object, I have 100 records are there. All 100 records it will go to approval process? No, only resigned equals to yes, means that is the condition. I'm trying to creating one approval process. While creating an approval process, we are using Jumpstart Wizard. We selected the employee object and we selected the condition resigned equals to yes. Okay, we selected resigned equals to yes. Then finally, who is the approver? That also we have to define at the approval. While creating an approval process, we have to define. Four options are there. Today we discuss with two options. One option is we are giving an option. Who is clicking on the submit for approval button, right? For that person, we are giving an option. First, whoever you want, you will just go and select. Let the submitter choose the approver manually. Okay. So, but this is not the real time case. And another approval process we created. While creating an approval process, we define one user. That user is nothing but approver. So to define that user, there is no setup. There is no setup. The system automatically show all the active users who are available in the system. Who are available in the system, all the users it will show. All the users it will show. We will just go and select any one of the user based on our requirement. If any employee resign from the service, then it will send to that particular user automatically. That user will go to the home tab and approve or reject. Approve or reject. So in the next session, we will just go and discuss some other options. Okay, this is for today's session. If you have any questions, we'll go one by one.